said the song was Superstition.
No. The music that says "Welcome to Mental Shift," all that happens.
We don't have all that. We got rid of that like many episodes ago.
Oh, are we live?
Yes, we are.
Oh.
Except for it's not the song that never ends.
No.
Oh,
it's superstition ain't the way.
I made this change once. So welcome to Denim and Pearls.
My name is Michelle Moras.
And I'm Brian Swanson.
We are Denim and Pearls. We are business casual.
With pearls of wisdom.
From the porch.
Now, I have to get up and walk away from the camera, but we still have sound.
Is it messing up?
No, because something's not right. It didn't save it.
Well, that's really
so what are we talking about?
We're talking about superstition because it is dun 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 Friday the 13th. And we have all these superstitions around Friday the 13th, like black cats, of which Brian has.
I do, actually.
And who loves to cross my path all the time. And Friday the 13th is known as a bad luck day. And you have to watch out what you're doing on Friday the 13th because it's a bad luck day. And
no, it's a bad hair day.
Yeah, you've been having bad hair days. The other day we went out and I thought he meant it to do that. And we were walking around and he went past the window and he went, "Why didn't you tell me my hair looked like that?" And it was all straight up on the front of his head. And I'm like, thought you were trying to do something
Yeah,
new.
some friends you are.
Thought you were going to be a cool kid.
My wife does that too.
No, I told you, go fix your hair. And then you came out.
And I hadn't had it fixed means, hey, did you not hear me the first time?
No, I figured you were grown up and I figured, maybe he made it worse. And I thought he wanted it that way. But anyway, superstition. What superstitions do you carry with you in business and in life? Friday the 13th, people are all kind of woo about it.
Yeah, but that's my thing today. That's my song today. When you look at superstition to me is the black cat walking underneath a ladder, breaking glass, throwing salt over your shoulder. That's what I think of when I think superstition. So when I think business and I think life in general, I don't think I have any of those superstitions, but I do have those things that, yeah, if I do that, I know what's going to happen.
Well, that's knowledge from past experience, you see. And what I was thinking about with superstition is really people do act very strange around Friday the 13th. And so I researched on what Friday the 13th was based off of. Do you know?
I only know what you read, and I was busy in at the time, so it did not go in one ear.
Okay, well, I looked up why is Friday the 13th considered a bad luck day.
So, Michelle, why?
Well, they really aren't sure, but what they think it was based off of is the Last Supper. The Last Supper, Christ had 12 apostles plus him, 13 people at one room, in on one table.
Okay.
They had that Last Supper on Friday before he was crucified. So it's bad luck, Friday the 13th. That's it.
So it just so happens that it happened to be on Friday the 13th.
No, it was a Friday. There were 13 people at the table at the Last Supper.
I said, that's a heck of a coincidence.
Yeah, and then he was crucified.
Yeah. How did they know it was Friday the 13th?
It wasn't. It was a Friday. 13 people at the table.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I had to look it up because I'm like, what's the big deal about Friday? Why Friday the 13th? Why would you give such a bad influence on a number and a day? And I
think that's where everything comes from, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Just keep talking. I said that's where everything comes from. Is we have some particular reason.
Now, if you know me and if you followed me and you've ever watched or read anything I've ever done, my second book was called "It's Not Luck: Overcoming You."
Mm-hmm.
And so my philosophy,
you had to get your plug in there. I got it.
I always plug in. My philosophy on luck is you make your luck and you also make your bad luck. And so when people say, "Oh my gosh, Friday the 13th is a bad day," and they wake up and they knock their clock off the side table and then they get out of bed and stub their toe, basically what they're doing is they're perpetuating, "God, I knew it was going to be a bad day. Knew it was going to be bad." And when you tell the universe it's going to be bad, the universe says, like a genie, "As you wish, we will make it all bad for you." And it's not that it's making it bad. You only see the bad. And we've talked about that.
Yes. Well, I do remember I used to have, I still kind of think about it, is on the first of the year, So New Year's Day,
Mhm.
I always have to listen to country music.
Why is that?
There's some weird thing in my past that meant that it was going to make it a good year.
Really?
However, I don't measure things by a year, and I always forget to listen to country music on the
So therefore, his entire philosophy has
So my superstition has gone away, I guess, or it has no proof to it, no meat to it, I guess.
whoop, whoop. I've still got superstition going through my mind. Now, the only thing I can think of is growing up in the Philippines, there were like for New Year's, we had to have noodles because it represented the long life. The
But is
longer
that
the
not
noodles, the better.
tradition, not superstition?
It's both. It's a tradition based off of superstition. Long life, long noodles. You don't cut the noodles.
Is that what it's about?
Yeah, you don't cut the noodles. But anyways,
Okay, sorry. My brain took a turn for the worse.
yeah, apparently I don't know where it went, but
Long
he's
noodles.
giggling.
Long fingers, long toes, long noodles,
He's giggling.
long life.
Oh, that's a camera.
No,
Mike.
it's over here.
Okay. Well, anyways, as we talk about with Denim and Pearls, business and life, when you put something into your world, like your business world, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's this great place that I can have my office space on, but it's on the 13th floor. Or, oh,
There's only 4 buildings in the country that have a 13th floor.
I know they don't
listed.
and they don't even make them. I've been in a building where it went 1 through 12, 14, 15.
Oh yeah, that's what they do with most of them.
Yeah.
There's only like 4 buildings in the world that recognize the 13th
Well,
floor.
and that's what I'm saying, though. But
guess which one of them is?
What?
The Antlers Hotel downtown.
Really?
They actually have a 13th floor. They even have a room 1313.
Well, and that's what I think is so funny.
And it is haunted, by the way.
Friday the 13th, 13 has got such a bad connotation to it that it's built into our society. Isn't that the coolest thing and strangest at the same time?
Well, some people, I mean, like lucky number 7, they hate number 7, but they like 13 because they want to go against the grain. I see a lot of that.
Yeah. And with
13
me,
is my lucky number.
well, my thing is if nobody else wants it, the higher chances it's a better number because no one else wants it. So you claim it.
Hey, that's a nice thought on roulette.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody else is picking it, but I'm going to win when I do hit it.
Let's say if you want to hear the other side of on the positive side of anything, you just ask me. I will find it.
Well, there's always a positive side of things.
Not everybody can see it though.
But I mean, my goodness, Western or Eastern philosophy, there's yin and yang. They're opposites. There's always got to be a yin and there's got to be a yang.
I agree.
And I don't care what it is. Even if you look at
He's my yin to my yang.
even if you look in the Bible or any other religious type stuff,
Scripts, yeah.
It's always the good and evil.
Mhm.
There's always the counterbalance.
Yeah.
I mean, for every action is a reaction. That all comes down to logic and I think science.
Yes.
I mean,
There's
every
always
action is a reaction.
there is always an opposite reaction to every action. It always does this. Everything
Right.
does.
And it
Everything.
doesn't matter what it is, but we typically think of that statement as a chemical thing. It's a fact. But does that really apply to
Energy, yes.
our energy in our lives and
Yes.
how that thing happens?
Yes.
At least you believe it does.
No,
You just don't believe it?
I believe it.
Oh.
I've seen it. And so my thing is I experienced it in life. Whenever something you think you perceive as bad is occurring, you've got to look at it from away from the chaos so you can see, wait a minute, what good can come out of that. So like in Friday the 13th, if you are one of the people out there who have got out of bed, stubbed your toe, and have expected the rest of your day to go bad, I want you to stop and change your shift your mindset. Yeah, mental shift. Have a mental shift and say, okay, I'm going to get the next cab that shows up. Oh, that's it. Have you read the book, The Secret? Or have you watched the show about The Secret?
Yes.
It's all about that, shifting your mindset about universal cosmos, whatever. If you have a bad day, you need to stop and do, okay.
That's mental attraction. That's
Good
not
thing.
necessarily well, I guess it could be superstition on how you look at it, but that's nothing but mental attraction or universal attraction.
Yeah, but if you have a superstition that thinks bad things are going to happen on one particular day because it has a 13 on it, okay?
That
You
means
better.
just,
That's when you shift your mental perception that Friday the 13th is going to be the best day ever.
my thought goes like this. It's Friday the 13th. If I believe that it's going to be a bad day, so I'll stay in bed.
Then you're going to have a.
Then I'm going to croak in bed. That's my luck.
And see, that's a bad thing. That's my luck. When people say, "Oh, I never win. That's my luck." As you wish.
And then there's people who, no matter what day it is, it doesn't matter. Their luck is just with them always. I know a guy that did that. He would play the slot machines.
Hi, my name's Michelle.
You don't win the slot machines.
I don't play it.
Well, if your luck is that good, we should play.
No, I don't want it. But if I'm ever in a drawing, I ever come into a room and I'm in the drawing, whichever object I want, I get.
Yeah. Well, one, I'm usually not that way. Two, that's why I don't like bingo. Bingo and me don't get along.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm not lucky enough to ever win.
Well, because that's
There's always that one person before that or with that same number. Yeah.
That would be me.
So I can't base my life off of luck.
No, you can't.
You have to make
luck.
your own luck in a lot of ways.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. If you shift your mindset to something good will be happening, and I don't care how good it's going to be or how small of a good thing it will be, that something better is going to come. It will come. Maybe not in the form you think it is. And so if I'm ever in a room with Brian and we're both playing bingo, I can assure you I will win.
Yes, you will.
Because I believe I will. Or as my husband said, the lotto's really high. I might want to play some numbers. And
I can't seem to win that either.
I said, no, I don't want to play. He goes, why not? It has.
I actually got $10 the other day.
Really? See, and I have
Off
no
the lotto.
desire to even play it. So.
Well, it's at one point some $1 billion. I figured.
Oh, let's go. Come on.
You can't win if you don't play.
Yeah, well, some of us don't want to play.
Yeah, that's just true. I mean, I put down a little bit. I don't go all out.
Yeah. So if you're out there thinking Friday the 13th, ooh, I would say shift your mindset and believe that superstition can be miraculous for you.
Pauline's got this. She just brings up purple people.
Was one-horned, one-eyed, flying purple people eater.
Yeah, but purple people are good. They've got luck that follows them.
You know why purple?
It's kind of like the luck of the Irish.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because there's red people and there's blue people. There's red who are really happy, and there's blue that's really sad. And you put them together and they make purple. And those are happy people. You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. I sent Helene a book about the purple people.
I honest to gosh, I did not know that.
Yeah, and it was written by an actress. Oh shoot, she was the main actress in a TV show, The Good Place.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't know that one.
Yeah, well, anyways, she has a book about there's blue people who are always seeing the bad and the sad. They're always so sad about things, and then the red people who are really excited about everything, and you put them together and they're purple, and they're happy people because purple people are happy because we choose to be. What? He's looking at me like I'm crazy again.
That's kind of it, but I'm also thinking too. I'm thinking to the thing of we're just experiments anyway for the spacemen out there. So does it really matter?
Yeah.
But that also leads me to question the fact of the conversation of fate and faith.
Mm-hmm. You have to have faith to have fate.
But you got to have faith to have faith.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go without one or the other. But there are people who don't believe in fate.
I know. And that's okay.
And then, of course, there's people who don't believe in faith.
Yes, and that's okay too.
So is luck one of those two?
Luck is a combination of believing that something else can happen.
Why do you got to make things so serious?
Because that's who I am. Ballhead.
Well, I have a thing with, I mean, like you said, experiences. I believe in fate to a certain degree. I mean, I don't believe that our entire lives are built off of fate. Okay.
No, I believe that everything has, you have a path and then there's multiple outcomes that you can choose. Right. And depending on which road you choose that fate.
Well, I think there's other people out there that do. I don't think it's a special skill or talent or whatever to have like a premonition. And that's not premonition but deja vu is my main thing.
Deja vu.
Because I always feel that if I have a deja vu, that just tells me I'm on the right course.
Oh.
I'm where I'm supposed to be at that moment.
Okay.
Because I had that premonition before that I didn't recognize until the day that it happened. And it's been really creepy because it's been like having a conversation with somebody, and I'm feeling this conversation, and then I'm picturing the premonition that I had before that somebody else was going to walk in the door and interrupt the conversation.
And they don't?
And they do.
Oh, okay.
That's scary.
No, that's the coolest thing.
It's cool, but it's scary.
So like I just came back from Tulum, Mexico, and I got there and I was walking up to people doing, hey, nice to see you again. And I realized I had never met any of them before. But I saw that room before, had met all those people before, and it was like we were best friends the day I met them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love you. And they went, well, thank you. And I went, wait a minute, I've never been here before. But I had seen the whole thing already. And I'm like, okay, just embrace this one. I'm in the right place.
That's a spooky thing for Friday the 13th.
It was really, really cool and kind of creepy because I'm like, well, next this is going to happen. And then I waited. I didn't do anything. And then sure enough, it happened. I'm like, oh, well then. It was really cool and scary.
So back to superstition. Do you have any other superstitions that you follow or listen to?
No.
Or believe in?
Because I don't do the noodle thing either. My mother-in-law always said, we have to have black-eyed peas on New Year's, or Friday the 13th, make sure you throw salt over your shoulder. Or there was always these little things that they would all say, the family would say, and I would just smile.
Well, I think a lot of that's cultural too.
Mm-hmm. And I'm from the Philippines, so we have a lot of superstitious things going on.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Not that I can think of. I mentioned that already.
Yeah. No, a lot of, I was just basically doing the general Friday the 13th, that there are people right now who think Friday the 13th, bad things are about to happen.
They have their doors locked. They're not leaving the house. Maybe they're listening to our podcast.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, make sure you share the podcast.
Yes. And so Friday the 13th, if you're one who thinks it's a bad day, I want you to shift it and find something good and then focus on good and will more good. And because if I had to be superstitious about, let's say, black cats, I'm in trouble because Pan, his cat, is a black cat and loves to run in front of me. And I can assure you, I've got great luck with or without him running in front of me.
Well, I'm the kind of guy that, depending on my mood that day, will walk under a ladder or not walk under a ladder.
I would never walk under a ladder because I've
seen them
fall. I've seen them fall.
But I do think about it. As I walk up to the ladder, my shortest route to whatever I'm trying to get is through the ladder.
You walk around it?
And I think about, well, they say you shouldn't walk under ladders.
Yeah.
So depending on my mood is what descends on my decision on whether I walk under or around.
If you want to be brave or not?
Yes. So do I believe in the superstition? I don't know. It's kind of like Stephen King books.
It's like, do you really want to test it?
Yeah, exactly. It's like Stephen King books. If you read the earlier Stephen King books, which I did as a child, as a kid,
yeah.
and they were wonderful, but they were always set in reality. And we don't have a thing that proves telekinesis. We don't have a thing that disproves it. We don't have a thing that proves or disproves firekinesis.
You talking about Firestarter?
Yes, that's one of them I think of as Firestarter. I mean, I'm kind of thinking Christine when the car goes all back together. Yeah, that's probably kind of unreal. However, we can't prove or disprove it because how many barn finds do we find of cars sitting in there? They've been there for 50 years. I just saw one the other day on 20 years. Who says they didn't put themselves back together?
You don't know.
You don't know. It's one of those questions of the universe that is it real or is it not real?
Or as they say, when a tree falls in the forest and there's no one there,
does it make
a sound? Okay, I've got to tell you this. My brother, my big brother used to always, my big brother actually, he plays saxophone in my new album. I'm plugging it. My new album coming out very, very soon.
November 3rd.
Yes, in
Is
Dubai.
Release date.
And then the album release, you can pre-order the album right now. I think it's on my website, michellemoros.com. But anyways, my older brother is a saxophone player and he plays on my
album. If I had
album.
full control of this, I could put Michelle Moros.
Okay, but my brother used to always do this to me around Halloween. He would sing. He would say this. I don't even know who wrote it. I think it's an anonymous thing. No one remembers. But he would say, in the middle of the day, in the dark of the night, two dead boys got up to fight.
I've heard this.
Back to back, they faced each other, pulled out their swords, and shot each other. The deaf policeman heard the noise, ran to investigate the 2 dead boys. If you don't believe my lie is true, go ask the blind man. He saw it too.
I've actually heard that before.
I used to love that.
I don't know if it's because you said it or if it
That's probably me because I've known you for years. I'm sure I said it every
It
Halloween.
may have come from something. I mean, it sounds like a poetry kind of a thing.
It is a poetry thing.
Some kind of a, I can't think of the poet right now. Anyway.
Edgar Allan Poe kind of thing, but it's too funny.
Yeah.
Because it's all backwards, right? In the middle of the day, in the dark of the night, 2 dead boys got up to fight. Back to back, they faced each other, pulled out their swords, shot each other. Everything's backwards. Everything's off. And so he used to always do that to me. And I used to giggle. But
you know what's even more impressive?
What?
Miss Brain Injury.
I know the weirdest thing that's staying in my head.
Read that. You can remember that.
Well, just like Rapper's Delight, I learned Rapper's Delight, I think, when I was 10.
Oh, geez, I still can't get that song.
And I could still do that song. So the weirdest things that stay in my mind. So superstition wise, in your business, is there certain things you won't do? I mean, like when you open your doors to service, do you like give the 13th person to your coworker? I knew someone who used to do that.
Really?
I worked at a bank, and it was a small, actually it was a credit union, a small credit union, and we could count the people coming in. We were so slow all the time. And the 13th person, the teller next to me would always do, you take them. Because they were the 13th person in the room.
Only the 13th to her, though.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Well, she was the main teller.
Mm.
So she was the only one open in the morning. And so when we got to the 13th person, she says, the next person is yours. And I would open so she wouldn't have to take the 13th.
That's weird because she's still taking the 14th person who's actually her 13th.
Yeah, she meant the 13th person in the room.
No matter if she stops it right there. Yeah.
No, 13th person in the room.
Always, her next person is always going to be your 13th
Yeah,
person.
but not to her. In the room.
See, I can even follow the logic there.
In the room.
Oh, I get it, but still.
In the room.
She totally defeated her
in the
purpose,
room.
though.
In the room.
No, it doesn't
in
matter.
the room. For her, it was her. It mattered.
It meant something to her.
It mattered to her. It was her superstition. And so it was just one of the things she did. Drive through. She did the same thing. 13th car. She didn't want to take it. And
she just walk away?
No, she would just say, hey, Michelle, can you take this? So I did.
How long did it take you to figure that out?
Almost immediately. She told me.
Oh, she told you?
Yeah, okay. She says, can you be ready? I said, why? She says, I'm at number 12, the 13th person I don't want to take. I said, why? She says, it's just one of the things I do. I'm like, okay. Don't look at me like that.
Strange.
My thing is I accepted her for her superstition and I helped her so that she would make it through her day.
Well, that was very nice of you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I didn't.
No, it's something simple that you can do to help someone else through whatever their superstition is. I didn't sit there and do, that makes no sense. Your next person's still going to be, I didn't do that. It was like, okay, I will.
I would probably be in the same boat you were in and do the same thing you did. However, my brain would go, you realize the next person is going to be your 13th person anyway.
Doesn't matter. Makes her happy. I helped her.
And it doesn't hurt anyone.
No. And so if you're running around today and you're having a bad day or you see someone having a bad day, lend them a hand, because once you get in that downward spiral, bad things are happening and nothing's going to get better, you usually need someone to kind of
hold your hand,
pull you out of it and make you realize that your brain is playing tricks on you and you need to get out of it. I mean, let's go into relationships real quick. Can you think of anything?
Superstitious wise?
Yeah. I just thought of something.
Start me off. Maybe.
I dropped a lot of weight and I kept getting my ring resized so my wedding ring resized to fit. And then my last time I got it resized, the jeweler said, hey, I really can't cut this again. I'm messing with the integrity of the metal.
Right.
And so I stopped reducing it. Well, now I wear it on this finger when I wear it, but it's very precious to me and it's expensive. So I don't want it to fall off my hand. So I stopped wearing my wedding ring. So I always change out my wedding ring. Superstition is, I'm married, I should never take it off.
Is that superstition?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I don't remove mine very often. But here recently, my hands, I start doing this with my fingers, and I'll leave them on my desk, and then I'll walk away and forget them. But I freaked out. I actually freaked out the other day because I took it off upstairs and didn't remember taking it off. because I always remember, because I always have my wedding ring on. I mean, honest to God, I always have my wedding ring on, and I've done it for 30 whatever years now it's been.
Yeah.
But if I do take it off, like I don't know, wash my hands, whatever the case may be, I always remember taking it off. Well, the other day I didn't remember taking it off, which meant I had to go on a search party
To find it.
to find where I had taken it off. It was scary.
Well,
It was almost as bad as losing your military ID.
well, and that's what I'm saying. Is that a superstition ring? What is that says when you're married and you're bonded? Does that ring really mean that that's what keeps you bonded?
I don't know if that's a superstition or if that's just a belief in
That
the meaning.
That would be a superstition.
The belief in the meaning that what the ring represents.
Yeah, because my thing is the ring is an outward representation to the world that you are bonded.
Well, I've got that nice white mark, so
Well, my thing is my heart tells me who I'm bonded to. I don't need a ring to remind me. And so when people go, well, you don't have a wedding ring. And I said, yes, I do. It's here. It's in my heart.
well,
It's in my essence. And so my thing is I can wear any ring on this hand. Just understand I'm married. And so that's my thing is it a superstition? My mother-in-law said, never take the band off. The diamond part, not a big deal. But the band is the one that you put in the Bible when you get married, if you're Christian. And that's the one that is blessed. Okay. So you should never take that ring off because that's what binds you.
So since
through
it's
the eyes of
blessed, you can
God.
put it on when the vampires come.
I never thought of that. You're safe from vampires. I am not, apparently. That explains it because all these mosquitoes are vampires and they have eaten me alive.
Well, there may be a superstition of mine
What, sweet blood?
that they love me.
They love me too. Look, my arm, it's all swollen.
You know, we were having, I swear, like I was telling you the other day, I swear I'm planning a trip to Florida. All the mosquitoes send text messages to each other, say, Brian's coming.
Hey, sweet meat's coming.
I believe that they're on social media.
And so basically, because he believes that they're text messaging each other, telling him that he's coming into town, that's his superstition. And my thing is did he call them to him because he knows he's expecting them to bite him, so therefore they do? So have we ever tried the don't bite me?
No, but I've tried to make sure there's a parking spot when I get to the building.
That always happens. I always get it.
Yes.
I always get the spot I want.
99% of the time.
It's pretty much. So there, that's a test. Go do that. Go wherever you want to go.
Is that a superstition?
No, that is what the secret's about, is willing
magnetism, attraction.
Yes.
The law of attraction.
But the law of attraction and superstition, I see them as the same. The law of attraction is attracting the good things to you or the bad things to you. When you believe in a superstition that's going to cause you harm, you are attracting bad things to you. That's a superstition in my mind. You're attracting bad things are going to happen. It's going to come to me, blah, blah, blah.
Marcel Mosquito Twitter.
Brian has sweet. I can't see anything anyone's writing. So.
I like it. Superstition's a mindset. That's what Marcel says.
It is. And that is the whole attraction thing. It's the law of attraction. You ask for more good, you will keep getting good. You expect good, you'll see more good. When you start thinking bad things, oh my gosh, it's a black cat. Ah!
So is that why I don't have superstitions? Because I don't believe in finding the negative?
Good.
Is that it? I mean, I'm asking kind of a rhetorical question.
If you see the good, you will always see more good. Even when bad things happen, you do, well, something better has got to happen. And you bring that.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
On your little trip that you took.
Yes.
And the guy with the scorpions.
Yes.
Before the scorpion showed up, did he believe or did he say, I know I'm going to find one?
No.
Oh, because see, that's when I went through basic training for the Army. I went to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. And when I did that, they tell you about brown recluse spiders. I didn't think anything about it. I did what they said. Dump your boots out. Make sure you don't have them in your boots before you put your shoes on. And I'm like, okay. But I didn't expect to see any, and I never actually seen any. Saw any, whatever.
Saw any.
You know me and my seesaw scenes.
I know. It makes me crazy.
Okay. So I walked 500 miles.
Use that grammar correctly. Okay, go ahead.
So I walked 500 miles and found the guy who actually was paranoid about finding.
He found them all the time.
Every time he turned around, he was finding one.
Mm-hmm. And
And I'm
so,
like, I'm not looking for it. So I'm not looking for bad. So I'm not looking for evil if I walk under a ladder.
well, like with me, when I was in Tulum, one of the ladies was like, "Oh, we were talking about how much we could not stand spiders, terrified of spiders," and I said, "Well, I just asked spiders not to bother me. I saw two tiny spiders, and I said, "Can you please leave my tent?" And I literally saw them walk off my bathing suit that was hanging in my tent and walk towards the door, and I went, "Thank you." I know that sounds crazy, but that's what I
Okay,
did.
Dr. Doolittle.
And she was like, "Oh my gosh, the spiders got to be huge out here because we're in a jungle preserve basically." And the first night I go into the tent, see nothing. I leave the tent, go to dinner or whatever. She goes to the tent to get something, and she comes back to the dinner table. She says, "I just saw a spider bigger than my hand at our tent." And I'm like, "Really?" She says, "It was humongous." I went, "Well, I asked it never to show up if I'm around, so I won't ever see it." I never saw it. She saw it twice.
Never seen it, huh?
I never saw it. And that's good because I had to sleep alone in that tent a couple of times. Why?
Who were you sleeping with the other times?
She was my bunkmate. And at one
I'm like,
point,
wait a minute, what?
well, there was a couple of nights we had huge storms, and I would, after dinner, I would walk to the beach while the sun was still going down because I wanted to walk on the beach, and then I'd go. My tent was on the beach, so I would just go into my tent. I didn't go back to the house, and so I'm in my
I
tent.
just keep thinking of the movie or the show Lost.
Well, yeah, it felt like that. At 8 o'clock at night, basically, they're all still up there talking, and the storm hit. And I'm talking tropical storm. The raindrops were huge. It sounded like hail, and the whole tent's moving. So I fell asleep to this beautiful thunderstorm while she was stuck up at the house. So I had to sleep for the first couple hours till the storm passed, till she could get back to the tent. So I was alone in the tent, expecting, I just kept saying, "No spiders, no big spiders, no big spiders, no big spiders." Butterflies and rainbows.
Butterflies and rainbows and
Yes.
unicorn glitter.
Yes. But anyway, he did not expect a scorpion, but I think he was probably thinking, "I'm alone in this tent and it's really dark."
Yeah, and he found one.
And he found something that scared him.
I wouldn't be scared of scorpions. Scorpions don't bug me. You don't mess with.
Scorpion before.
Oh,
Yeah, that was when he's like, "I'm pretty sure it's a scorpion. I just Googled it, and yeah, it's a scorpion. It's little, and it's in the zipper." So he couldn't even unzip his zipper on the tent. We had to zip everything. They told us to always zip it to keep things out.
There's another superstition for you.
What?
Not being able to deal without Google and our phones.
Oh.
I can't think without my phone.
I'm just glad he was able to Google it, because then he Googled it and sent me a picture. Says, "This is what's sitting in the zipper of my tent." And so I went to the people in the main house and said, "Can you help us get the scorpion out of his tent?" And they sent him over, and the guy comes out with a leaf about this big, little tiny, like 2-inch leaf, put it underneath the scorpion. Scorpion jumped on it, and he walked it out, dropped it back out into the forest, to the jungle.
Didn't squash him. That's good.
No, don't squash him. He was just visiting.
Isn't there something about squashing a bug or squashing a spider that's a superstition?
I have no idea.
I thought there was.
I have no idea. Cause no harm.
Maybe somebody can tell us about it.
Yeah, if you hear of
Raven. Hi, Raven.
If you've heard of any superstition about squashing bugs, my thing is, in that retreat, I got so in tune with nature. I swear, I told you I was already talking to spiders. Okay, I swear that I decided there, cause no harm. I didn't want to harm anything because it will reciprocate on me. So I was being really nice to everything. Oh, yeah.
If Raven's still here, Raven, I know she knows superstitions.
Oh, Raven, if you're still around, let us know about the
Give us one.
superstition about anything. That'd be kind of cool, and we can talk about it.
Yeah.
But no, if you ever have a chance to go to Tulum, Mexico.
Been to Cancun, but not Tulum.
Mayakan, Mayakaan, is the most amazing retreat center. It was a clean diet. It was amazing. It was amazing.
That's right. You said no meat, didn't you?
Yeah, we had no meat, no caffeine, no alcohol. It was just pure.
I can live with the no alcohol, but the no meat.
Oh, it was amazing.
That's just like, no.
Yeah, I told Brian, I think I might be kind of vegan right now. I'm not sure. I haven't been able to hold down red meat at all. So let's see what
You've
fish
cleansed
does.
yourself of those impurities.
Yeah. And my hair went straight.
You did.
Don't squash. What does it say?
Don't squash them in the day. Let them out. If they're in your house at night, take out.
Oh,
Don't
so
squash them in the day. Let them out.
day, let them out. Night. Okay,
You take them out.
take them out.
If they're
Okay.
in the house at night, take out. I think that's what she says.
Okay.
Just don't squash them.
Don't squash them.
Either way, she says don't squash them.
Or in my case, like I did, can you please leave now? You're kind of scaring me. And they left.
Never felt that I could talk to spiders
I didn't.
or anything else.
You don't have to feel it. I just was willing it to leave. Because I was hanging my clothes in my tent. You know, you don't have a washing machine and a tent. So I was hanging my clothes and I would come in and there'd be like, there were two little spiders sitting on my bathing suit. And I'm like, really? I was going to put this on and you're hanging out. Can you get off of that? And they got off. I was like, dang.
Well, I think people also need to understand the kind of tent you were in, because it was like one that you would find in like Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like this, it wasn't like a Coleman tent that.
Oh no, it was a glamping, beautiful, huge tent. Two queen size beds. I mean, it was nice.
Yeah, look at her Facebook. She's got pictures. Others believe that if you let the animal survive, you will have a longer life.
See?
There's all kinds of different beliefs about spiders.
Well, and that's kind of what I was thinking was.
Thanks, Raven.
Yes, thank you, Raven. My thought was, I felt so in tune with everything while I was in that nature preserve. It was like, if I squash that, somewhere in the times of fold, as the folding time, that it would come back at me. So I was being really nice to everything. It was really a weird
I would be
feeling.
terrible because I would squash it.
And just know it's going to come back to you sometime in your lifetime.
It only will now because now I know.
Superstition ain't the way.
So do I squash the cockroaches out on my patio?
Tell them to leave.
I'm going to actually try that.
Try it.
Something tells me okay, crickets, that my house is not yours. You need to leave now.
You've never done that? Tell a cricket to be quiet?
Well, I've always done that, and you make a move and it gets quiet. But
I just say
every summer I have like, and it's got to be like the same cricket or the same soul of the same cricket, because it always comes up to the same part in my garage and wants to get in my garage.
You know what
when
it
I
is?
open up the
It's
garage
the
door.
spirit of all the other cockroaches that he killed, and they came back as crickets just to bother him.
That could be. Don't forget, I'm heading out to Salem to get recharged.
Oh, Raven's a witch.
Oh, that's interesting.
No, I just think it's just very interesting, the things that we can do and cannot do, and the things we believe and the things we don't believe, and that kind of thing. Play with those kind of things. If you have a superstition, shift it. See what happens if you don't believe it.
I just want to know if I can talk to the spiders and the crickets.
Go do it. They're not going to stop you.
Of course, then again, like when we lived in Tucson, I didn't have a problem with like termites like we usually do. Most of the houses around here, and we had different things done, of course, exterminator type things, but I never had a problem with things like that.
Well, we were laughing because when we were in Tulum, one of our friends, he kept, the very first day, he has, I'm going to go out of here and I'm going to probably he always wanted to swim naked in the ocean, is what he said. He wants to swim naked in the ocean. And we're like, go for it if you want to. He says, no, I can't, because I don't want to get stung by a jellyfish in a private part. And he put it out there. And we said, don't say that. That's a bad thing to say. And he goes, ha, 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 ha. And so days go by, we're in there. And then one of the last nights that we were all together, he said, I'm going to go skinny dip. Don't look. And it was like 9 o'clock, pitch black out there. There was no moon. And he ran out into the ocean and started screaming. And a jellyfish stung him in a place men do not want to be stung. And so it's like,
or anybody else.
Did he will that? And we all decided, yes, he willed it, because no one else got stung by anything. I got a jellyfish sting on my upper thigh, but it was because I was out there with him afterwards. So I think they were all drawn to him at that point.
You were just, what do they call it?
An afterthought.
Yeah,
like it stung him. It stung him and then hit me with a wave.
I put up what Raven had said. You can ask him to leave, but remember, they're going to outlive you in the Holocaust.
Ah.
So it doesn't matter really.
Okay, you can go ahead and stop them. You pay the price. When you come back and that spider comes back as a human and stabs you, if you believe in
Well,
any
spiders
of that.
don't bug me, so it's like, but I mean, I thought I had heard something, and Raven confirmed it, that if you kill a spider or bug or whatever.
Well, then I was told, I had my fortune told by someone actually at a run fair, and she says, "You have a lot of spiders around you." And I said, "They tend to find me wherever I am. They tend to find me." She says, "They're messengers for you. When you see them, that's good." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I think that's when I shifted the fear of them to, okay, maybe they're not so bad. I'll just talk to them instead.
Did they talk back?
No.
Because then you'd have been crazy.
They did not talk back. Can you imagine that?
That's why people say you shouldn't talk to yourself.
Oh, I talk to myself all the time.
Yeah.
I talk to myself. I sing to myself.
As long as you don't respond back, you're fine. Anyhow, we're at 40 minutes. 41
Holy
minutes.
crap, really?
Holy crap. What did Raven write? As a witch that doesn't believe that there is either black or white, it all dwells on intent.
See?
Believe that transmutation is the best way to work out this point in breaking the cycles.
Don't talk quiet. Read it.
I'm trying to read it.
We're both blind. Can you tell? I can
here too now.
I can barely see the words over there, but it's like I can see people are writing, but I can't see what anything is. Oh, so what did she read?
Here's the next one. Because the ones that you kill, there will be 200 more.
They'll come back in force.
Now, see, that's where I say that's my luck. It has nothing to do with outliving them or having bad luck. It has
They're
to do
going
with
to send the
there's
forces.
going to be 200 more after that one.
Or as my brother told me, if you squash a spider, they're going to send all their brothers and sisters to get back at you. And they're going to go up your nose while you're sleeping. I'm like, yeah. Be careful what you wish for. Man, we should have just had Raven come in here and just talk to us. What a great person to have on for Friday the 13th.
She could have called it.
You're right. We could have done that.
We still can.
We can?
If she's available.
Yeah, but we can't get her on the call.
Why not? I just invite her to
the
we'll
Zoom?
Just do a new Zoom.
Hey, Raven, can you get on?
Can you get on a new Zoom? Because we need to finish this one anyway, because we're at 42 minutes.
Oh, not a new Zoom, a new stream.
A new StreamYard, yeah.
Oh, and then we just talk about Superstition and Friday the 13th. And ooh.
Can you do that, Raven?
If you can, please text us. Let us know.
Well, she's still typing over here. So.
Oh, really? But anyways, Superstition, Friday the 13th. Make it as you want it to be. Or as Raven says, it's all about your intent. Do you intend to have a bad day? Universe says, as you wish. If you intend to have a great day, the universe will say, as you wish. Think that we all have a genie in our pocket. It's in our minds and our souls. And basically, what we really, really want will come to us.
Genie in your pocket, or are you happy to see me?
Oh, God.
What?
Good night, folks.
So, Raven, can you make it? Can we do one here in about 20 minutes? She says, sure.
Okay, well, we're going to
Awesome. We're going to get off and we're going to have another special live broadcast.
We're going to have a special live with our friend Raven Ventura.
Yeah, this is a good time for that.
And Raven is, she's our, I like to call her our good witch, but yeah.
She's read a few, folks. I'm having an awesome day in purple root beer.
Purple root beer. Woo, woo.
All right. Well, anyhow,
okay,
let's call this a day.
So superstition ain't the way. Go make Friday the 13th the best. And join us in about 20 minutes. We're going to have Raven on, and we're going to just talk about superstition and all the spooky stuff that's coming up in our life.
I
know. I can't wait.
About it. I'm excited now.
So come back in about 20 minutes. We'll be live, and Raven will be with us.
Right.
See you in a bit.
So,
have a great one. And until then, my name is Michelle Moross.
And I'm Brian Swanson.
We are Denim and Pearls. We are business casual.
With pearls of wisdom.
And some superstition from the porch.
Peace.
Peace.